talking about prophesying Alexander the Great as he fell in his youth. I think it was in his early 30s or something when he died mysteriously in the height of his power. Now it's getting to the little horn, which is Antichrist. Now I'm just going to plug this. There's the videos on my social media sites and websites that talks about this in depth. And I would suggest you go to those sites and you can study it. And his estate shall stand up a vile person. This is the Antichrist, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. Now, this person is taught in depth in the video Armageddon News, the coming Caliph. You can look up it on my social sites. They get into depth, explaining where he comes from, which is Turkey. Where is he going to come from? And they do a very good, thorough, and that's why I'm going to sidestep it because they did such a good job of research. Normally, you got to get people, like I said, with discipline, former Muslims, former Buddhists, former Catholics, these neo converts to Christianity, because they have discipline, and these are the people that's bringing you the accurate history and prophecy more than the so-called Christian converts born and raised in the church that's off on everything in history. They're much more accurate and precise. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. You can go to the sites and look it up. Armageddon News, it's on my sites. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peacefully. The Antichrist is coming in the name of peace. We're going to read that in Revelations in a minute. He's not coming with horns sticking out and breathing fire. He's coming subtly. And he are come to bring you peace. He's waving a peace flag. He's going to look like Mahatma Gandhi. And in this state shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peacefully and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. That's the 10-toed king. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overthrown from before him, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant. He's going to get Israel. He's going to dupe them into signing a peace treaty. This man's going to come with the Middle East plan. And he's going to be the one that solved, the crisis between the Israelis and the Palestinians. He's going to come. And they're going to sign on the dotted line because they're tired. They're tired of fighting. They're tired of arguing. And they want another's throats back and forth. So they're going to be head over heels for this smooth operator that's coming on the scene with the peace plan. And with the arms of a flood shall he be overthrown from before him, and he shall be broken, yea, also the princes of the covenant. And after this league is made with him, after they sign this treaty, they're going to sign a peace treaty. This is the league is talking about. After they sign the league, and the league's made with him, he shall work deceitfully. Now his real true colors are going to come out. Because he is the Antichrist. He hates Israel with a passion. And his whole idea is to destroy. For he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people. He's going to galvanize the whole Middle East. He shall enter peacefully, even up on the fattest places of the providence. And he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He shall scatter among them the prey, and spoil and riches. Yea, he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. And he shall stir up power and his courage against the king of the south. And that's Egypt. Egypt's going to be a thorn in Antichrist's flesh and in. With a great army. And the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for their forecast devices against him. Yea, they that feed the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, at the conference, at the negotiating table, at the peace treaty. But it shall not prosper, for yet the end shall not be for a time appointed. Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits and return to his own land. As the time appointed, he shall return and come forward toward the south, and it shall not be as former or as the latter. For the ships of Shittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return in indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with him that forsake the holy covenant. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. The Antichrist is going to come with peace, and then he's going to break that treaty. 3.5 years. And go up in the temple. But the temple's got to be rebuilt before all this happens, by the way, folks. The temple's got to be there for the Antichrist to step in. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. The Jews is going to institute and go back to the daily sacrifices of the Levitical code. And the negotiation, I know you're thinking the Dome of the Rock, the mosque is sitting there. Well, he's going to negotiate that, and they're going to build, the mosque is actually sitting on the outer court of the temple. It's not sitting on the actual temple site. So they can build a temple and coexist with the mosque. The Dome of the Rock is sitting there too, as well. So he's negotiating to bring peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians and the Arabs over there, because they want their temple built. So that's part of the negotiation package that's coming. Now, I'm going to skip this and go to the Antichrist himself, so you get an idea that he's deceitful. And he's going to break the treaty and step up in the temple, and he's going to profane the temple. And he's going to bring his throne and sit it up in the temple of God and claim and proclaim himself as God out of the temple. Now we're going to move on to 2 Thessalonians 2:9. 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Now this Antichrist is coming. He ain't called the man of sin for no reason. This man's going to do everything abominable under the sun. The Bible said that he has no regard for women, so he's obviously gay. But anything that's unholy and indecent, or anything that's holy and decent, you best believe he's going to trample on. Now, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, we read, even him who's coming after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's why you can't get caught up in miracles. Satan is going to be performing a lot. Him and that false prophet, here's the Antichrist and the false prophet, going to be performing a lot of miracles. They're going to dupe a lot of people. But Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with deceitfulness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. People are going to be willingly duped because they turn from the truth. The Bible talks about the age of apostasy. I'm going to teach on it. Where men want to believe lies and turn from the truth. I taught on Dewey. I'm looking up the video. False prophets. Dewey set the stage. That philosophy, progressivism, Spawned in hell, already taught. People want to believe a lie. You can't handle the truth. And for that cause, God shall send them a strong delusion. God going to turn you over to the Antichrist and the false prophet, because that's what you want to believe. For this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. Now up here further, let me go back up to verse 3, chapter 2. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. See, an apostasy. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's the Antichrist. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. Did we just read that in Daniel? He steps into the temple of God claiming he's God. Says it's a sin. All we like sheep, turn straight, and men on way, we all want to be God. I, my. He said it a lot. We heard him say it. I call that the I factor, the I power. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. He's going to blaspheme God's temple. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Paul's reminding. Now, Antichrist is coming at the end of the age of the beast. The clock is almost wound down. God talked about, I'm not going to get into detail on it, but he talked about the 70 weeks of years. And let's say Christ came on the 69th week of year. There was 1 year left. It was 7 years each. And then that 7 years is the last. God put a pause button on history. Christ was cut off in the 69th year. He was crucified. God put a pause in a vast gulf of time. Over 2,000 and some years is the elapse to where we end up in that last week of years, which is the Antichrist year. The tribulation, the great tribulation. The first 3.5 years deals with the Antichrist and him breaking the treaty and all that. Then you're going to have God pouring his wrath out during the great tribulation, the other half of the 7 years. Now let's go to Revelation. Since we're just talking about Revelation, might as well end up there. Revelation 6:1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it was a noise of thunder. One of the four beasts said, Come and see. And I saw and behold a white horse. That's the Antichrist. Remember in Daniel, he said he's coming as a man of peace. He's coming like God. He's not coming with horns protruding from his head and breathing fire. This man is going, and he's probably going to have a very appealing look. I'm sure he's going to be a very handsome guy, most charismatic guy ever. Because them the guys that can sway you over there. They're great salesmen. Those guys that can do it with a smile and disarm you. And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat up on him, and a bow. He had a bow, but no arrow. Meaning he's coming in peace. And a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. All right. And then we're going to turn to Revelations 13:1. Now, Revelations 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea. The sea represents the peoples and nations of the earth, the multitudes. The Bible talked about it, I believe it was Isaiah, where he says, mankind is like the raging foaming of the sea going back and forth. Nations and people, that's what it looks like, a sea of people. There has no peace, he said specifically. There's no peace in this earth till God smashes his fist in and set up his Christ kingdom. There's no peace. And I saw, and a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and up on his horns 10 crowns, and up on his heads the name of blasphemy. The 7 kingdoms. Now you look at it, 7 beastly kingdoms that have ruled from Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, the Gregorian Empire, Rome, the revised Roman Empire, or the Ottoman Empire, the revised Roman Empire, the Detento Empire, and then the Antichrist kingdom. This is the beastly kingdom in a nutshell I just gave. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. The leopard kingdom represented Alexander the Great's kingdom. How fast it conquered the world and swept the world. Now, Alexander the Great had a prince demon in him. All these guys did. They gave him that power to conquer. And whereas the feet of a bear, the bear was the Medo-Persian Empire. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. That's Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar's empire. So this is bits and fragments of the old empires. And the dragon gave him his power. Who? Satan. Remember that seat, that throne that was offered to Jesus Christ, and he declined. He said, "No, thank you, Mr. Devil. I'm going to go my Father's way. I'm by my Father's business. And I'm going to get it that way." But he tried to get him to take a shortcut. Said, "Just bow down, man, and give you that kingdom." Well, this guy's going to accept the dragon's offer on him. And he's going to give him his seat. The dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as if it was wounded to death, the revised empire. And his wound was healed after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave him his power in the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Like I told you, 3.5 years. That's 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. Now this man, this little beastly man, is going to think like his master, that he got a chance to whoop his creator. Lucifer, that is. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Now that's the saints that's down here that didn't make the rapture, like I said earlier. That's the 5 foolish virgins. So for you that's preaching that you're going to go through the tribulation, you are. You'll be here. But for us, they got the faith. And God ain't going to pour his wrath out on his body of Christ. And we wise stewards, and we doing yes sir in God, and doing what he's telling us to do and following our supreme commander's orders, we'll be raptured out. And we'll be like John the Revelator, like I taught earlier. Caught up. And that's what rapture means, caught up. And for the foolish virgins, yeah, you'll have to get your head chopped off by the Antichrist to prove your faith now. And see how many Christians will be around then when now it's time to die for it. Going back to the Caligula days, and the Tiberius days, and the Nero days. All right, hope this has inspired you to get it together, because the time is nigh. And if you did that math I just told you about the 2,520 years of the beast kingdom and subtracted 536, you'll see how close we are. All right, this message has been a blessing to you. You know I'm going to end with the same old, same old. Show your love in truth and deed. Prove the genuineness of the Spirit in you. Not by tongue wagging, bragging, but giving. First fruit tithes, alabaster box belong to the Lord. If I taught you, you own it. God bless you and have a great day in Jesus Christ. Good day, good evening, good night. Thank you.